Hardly the majestic retreat I was expecting. Wait, look there. Another door.
Meddlesome miscreants inside the Mysterium! Oh!
Is that a key on the pedestal? Snatch it up, quick! Good. Now, let's finally have a look at Mailmoth's mysteries. At last! Mailmoth's... Wait! What is all this? This isn't treasure. This is junk! Damn that addle-brained wizard. It's just another trick. It has to be. Ah, look there. A book. Step lively, assistant. Have a look at that tome while I piece this together. Look there. An X on the floor. A gate of some kind? One last riddle, assistant. One final test. Then we will reap the rewards. So, tell me, what did Mailmoth's tome reveal? Of course! How could I have missed such an exquisite antiquity? Granted, most of these items are worthless trinkets and oddities, but with some modest poetic license, I could turn that bottle into something truly extraordinary for my readers. A testament to its value, no doubt. Now, a less experienced historian might be troubled by the comically threatening X on the floor, but we know better. Mailmoth would only place such a symbol to confuse us, right? Right. Yes, there's a good assistant. It is quite fine. Why, this might be cut from diamond. Yes, this will make all the nonsense worthwhile. I know it. What? No! Assistant! Are you there? Damn you, Mailmoth! Right. Well, you must be pleased with yourself. Just take me back to solitude. Ridiculous.
You there! Please! I need help! I didn't think I'd find anyone out here. I'm part of the crew from... If we just had some meat, I'll head back to... Not far. It was a last resort.
We're hungry but peaceful, my friend. Be welcome. Blade's Edge, this is incredible. 4 of our crew were taken from the ship. I fear the beast. Last we saw the captain. Not really. Most. No. It was just trading.
I didn't think anyone would ever find me out here. Captain Mavok tried to. We have to find Captain Mavok. The blizzard. It's getting worse. This must be the camp. Keep an eye out for the captain.
Did I assume that you are here to kill me?
Voice sends a chill through me. That must be Bobret. That ice doesn't look natural. Did it! The enemy destroyed the ice.
Perhaps I deserve death. I destroy as easily as I create. I taint that which I love.
Quasnarine! No! This must be Maxton's doing.
But fret not. Your people serve a higher purpose now. I've given them life and me.
Turga! No!
I will not let my shame snuff out the power I have wrought. I must finish my work.
I must be getting close.
Behold the frost focus, the font of my creation. Why do you refuse my gift? Why does no one understand the beauty of what I offer? I give life where there was none. I breathe fire into frozen hearts. Redwin, forgive me!
I'm not staying here a moment longer. I need to see the sky!
You did it, friend. Meet us back at the ship. After we resupply and get ourselves out of this ice, we can get underway again.
Fine work, Drigson. I'm proud of this crew, as always. Ah, my savior. I apologize for running off like that, but I had to ensure my crew was safe. Our dead will be missed dearly. We'll make sure. Looks that way, thanks to... Better, now that I'm not in danger of turning... Is that her name? Doesn't matter, I'm just glad she's gone. There was such darkness in her eyes. Pain, too. Oh, free the Silver Cormorant from the ice and assess her damage. Now that the storm has settled and my crew heartened...
Where's that caravan? It should have arrived by now. Welcome.
came here to learn what the Grey Host has planned, and what did I find? Good citizens of the Holds, afflicted by the Harrow storms and kept prisoner for some ungodly purpose. No matter how... That's all I've been doing, and trying to... Agreed. Messages have been coming and going since I arrived. Hiding, building them. The only thing I'm sure...
I left the orders in my tent, but the Ashen Lord was clear. We need more netherroot. See to the undergrove immediately.
As you command, Pintock.
The undermining
There,
is expanding
on the left.
rapidly now.
Let's listen in.
Soon we'll be able to strike all across the western holds.
Exarch Zingalis has fallen. I have never seen Rada El Saran, our Ashen Lord, so filled with sorrow, or such rage.
Does the loss of the Exarch alter our plans?
Not in the least. The strike on Solitude will occur as planned after Exarch Ulfra tests the improved ritual in the Undergrove.
An attack on Solitude? We need to move quickly. The Grey Host definitely has something big planned. Let's search the tents for a copy of those orders. That's what we were looking for. Let's talk over there. Orders from Rada Al-Saran. His words send a chill down my spine. Their plan for Solitude? It might even be more dreadful than an all-out attack. You saw what happened at Kilcreath and a family of monsters. Who could imagine them? Fenorian has the right idea. Come up. We came down here to find out what the Grey Host... That's great news. I knew...
Best turn around and head... If you're heading to Mor Khazgor to trade, don't bother. Damn mine collapsed and the whole clan... Yeah, I don't... Depends on who you ask. Some... Chief Urzix, she's strong. Those Greg runs...
Lyris was right. This camp is crawling with the Ice Reach Coven. And they're definitely producing the medallion. There's more to figure. It's a landing site, determining how they create. Because the Grey Host is guarding something down there. In the First Era, an army of vampires and werewolves tried to conquer the land before they were stopped in Bankurai. They called themselves the Grey Host. What do they have to do with the medallions? Let's examine the nearby graveyard. Examine the headstones. Let's determine what's so special about the exhumed bodies. Examine the headstones and see what you can make out. Finished? Have you come to any conclusions? Well, we've both been over the headstones with a fine-toothed comb. Of course. Compare notes and look for commonalities. You have them make... They did. Tell me more. Of course. Why didn't I see that? The headstones on the exhumed graves all mentioned that the... According to one necromantic theory, the older a living thing becomes, the more necrotic energy it naturally acquires. As a body grows old and withers, the life inside it decays. I now know enough about how they create the medallions to move my research along. I'll return to the Blue Palace and start putting an elixir together. To fully craft an elixir to defend against the Harrow storms, I still require a sample of refined netherroot brew. Plus, we need to determine what the Grey Host has. You have been busy, my friend. And there's nothing left for us to do out here.
Maelmoth Historian. You are here to return Maelmoth's journal, I assume? It does my heart good to know that not everyone in Solitude is as careless and irresponsible as that Narcissus Dren. So the mudmouth opportunist finally gets his just desserts. Ha! The Mages Guild would happily take that off your hands. I will reverse the spell. Eventually. Why rush a teachable moment, eh? Take this. You have more than earned it, I think. There we are. Oh, Narcissus. You really tie the room together. Ha! Perhaps I should find a bundle of...
So, do we have a way to defend against the Harrow storms, or what?
The elixir should do what we need, provided neither Fen nor I made any miscalculations.
Yolen, don't be so negative. The elixir will work. You'll see. Oh, good. You're back. Mjolnir and I have been discussing the various ways to turn what we've got into a protective elixir. I'm hesitant to get too excited, but I think we've figured out how to defend against the Harrow storms. The Grey Host uses an unstable mix of alchemy and sorcery to create the Harrow storms. An arcane ritual and the Netherroot brew focus the power of each Harrow storm through the prepared witch pikes. We can use the refined brew as the basis of our elixir. Now that we understand how the Harrow storms are created, we can use those same components to replicate the medallion's protective properties. Svana's associate, Mog, will procure most of the supplies I need, but there's one final ingredient required. For various reasons, I can't simply walk into the Hall of the Dead and claim it myself. I need you to acquire Arkay's sacred oil. A holy ointment associated with a god that became popular due to imperial influence. It's used by the priests in the Hall of the Dead to provide protection against necromancy and the undead. We need that oil to create our elixir.
Knowing the orders my father has been issuing of late, you might need my help to acquire Arkay's sacred oil. I'll meet you at the Hall of the Dead.
To the Hall of the Dead with you. Hurry along! Ingert still serves as High Priest, I believe. We're much the same, he and I. Yet he gets the fancy temple. And I get a hut in the woods.
You'll need my help.
Go ahead. Get what Fen needs from the Hall of the Dead. I'll make sure Mog follows through on procuring the rest of the supplies.
Yes, your royal ladiness. But I'm keeping the tankard. Svana's giving orders. Think... What do you want? Guards or refugees arrive by the hour. Why does Svargrim hesitate?
The High King issues orders, but all they do is lock away the afflicted. When will we strike back? Superstition thrives here in my birth city of solitude. Many look to misguided beliefs instead of the guidance of the divines in these dark days. Yes, I am. And while I revere all the divines and can provide their blessings, some believe that they must marry another as part of the natural progression of life. That to be part of this community fully, they must find another, marry, and have children. Yet Mara recognizes that not all need to follow this path. Exactly. To marry due to tradition or superstitions? To fulfill a hope of being made whole by another? Never. Enduring love must exist between two whole individuals. The topic is more nuanced, but I must finish my walk. Mara's warmth be with you.
Princess Vana, what can I do for you, Your Highness?
Listen to my friend, High Priest. We need your help.
I'm surprised to see the princess here.
As you can see, the influx of refugees has made this place much more hectic than usual. Is there something I can do for Princess Svanna? Sacred oil? Strange. That's the second time today someone has come seeking Arke's anointing balm. Sword Thane Athlet arrived with an edict from the king. Demanded our entire supply. How we're to consecrate the dead without it, I have no idea. The Sword Thane wouldn't say. He just mentioned that the High King needed it to defend Solitude. I'm sorry I can't comply with the princess's request. The Sword Thane took the oil to Castle Dower. That's where all the supplies for a siege are gathered during periods of strife. Solitude's foundation began with the construction of Castle Dower. It's the oldest structure in the city, and the most defensible.
Has my father found a way to use this sacred oil against the Grey Host? Perhaps he's doing more...
Hold! Castle Dower is... Princess Svanna.
Sword Thane, our business is urgent. My friend will explain.
I don't have time for the princess's proclivities right now. The High King... We barely keep up with the multitude of tasks, so my orders from the High King were clear. Stockpile the entire supply of sacred oil in the Temple of the Divines here within the confines of Castle Dower. Protection? Truly? The Herald already outnumber my soldiers, and more arrive every day. Still, giving you the oil would violate the High King's edict. I suppose if I happened to look the other way for a moment, I wouldn't notice if a flask disappears.
A single flask? Then we'll have to make do. Let's get it back to...
Sword Thane! Why his work? I gave strict orders, yet my daughter freely enters the castle grounds. What do they want, Sword Thane?
They,
We came to offer our assistance, Father. Sword Thane, how can we help?
Athlet has everything well in hand, child. Despite your intentions, you would only hinder our efforts. Go! The Sword Thane doesn't need my daughter or her wastrel underfoot. Away with you! We're much too busy for Svanna.
My father's never been what I'd call a warm and caring parent. But this crisis has made him even more distant. Let's get this sacred oil to Fen. He's trying to protect me. It's what he does. And leave me out. Though I suppose that's mostly my own fault. I know Mother's death weighs on him. As does this entire crisis. It's not that unusual. Castle Dower is the most defensible part of the city. In the past, we'd gather the people inside the walls. No.
Let me get this straight. The king was poisoned, and an Argonian saved him by entering his dreams. That's a little far.
Once it's ready, I'll test the elixir.
As you say, Lyris. Ah, here they come now. You have the sacred oil? Add it to the... Please, don't get too close while you're carrying the sacred oil. I have an adverse reaction to such ointments.
You have the oil? Then toss it in the cauldron. You don't want to know.
Go ahead. Do us favor.
So the High Priest let you have some of his precious oil? No, I don't want the details.
Yes, a perfect fusion. It's ready to be tested. Come, let's talk. With the addition of the sacred oil, the elixir is complete. Before we produce enough to distribute to the people of Western Skyrim, we need to test it. I'm confident of my work, but we're dealing with powerful forces here. We can't wait for the next Harrowstorm to strike. But what you and Svanna learned in Blackreach might help. You heard that Exarch Ulfra was testing Harrowstorm rituals in a place called the Undergrove. We'll go there and let Lyris drink the elixir. During my explorations of Blackreach, I came across an ancient burial site, a place called the Midnight Barrow. This Undergrove must be inside those ruins. Once there, you and Svanna keep watch from a safe distance, while Lyris steps into the storm. From what I could tell, the Midnight Barrow sank into Blackreach in the distant past. Somewhere in its chambers, we'll find the Undergrove. The Ruined Barrow is in the Lightless Hollow, in the northwest portion of the cavern. We'll meet you there. We're going to find an very risky.
What is it?
Hail, stranger. Good question. Not sure. In addition, I don't... If by trouble you mean that we're almost out of food.
Those Reachmen defiled our barrow. If not for the eastern half-giant...
You're not one of these tomb robbers. Mainly to put him to rest. My friend. This place, I think. Ghouls picking the bones of...
You and Fen stay put until we clear a path to the Undergrove.
Fine. Just don't take all day. I hate being
Look lively and let's get on with it.
I only have a...
Go on. You and Lyris, we're going to find... Very.
Don't you love me, Hagridin? Do you want to see me grow old, wither, and die? It's a small sacrifice for eternity.
Listen to yourself, Asinia. Even one life is too many. I can't make that kind of sacrifice, not even for you.
Sacrifice? Just what was that woman asking for?
That's the wrong way. If you have something else more important to do, fine. I'll just wait here.
Thought no one would find out? That none of us would survive? One is enough to expose your treason.
I gave no such order!
I have the betrayal penned in your hand and stained in our blood!
So that was his crime? Sending his soldiers into a trap? My ancestors' remains in my dreams, but I only know roughly where they are.
Jarl Hagridin has a matter of urgency for you to attend to.
What does he know to send us this far into the Reach?
You have your orders, Thane. Just you may not carry them out.
Who was she to be bossing a Thane around? With Dragonkin, they'd sooner make a corpse of you than talk.
For your treason against your hold and your people, we cast you from the halls of your ancestors. May they never know your name.
I did not betray my hold. She's the one who should face your judgment.
Seal him in.
That's everything. Let's get out of here with Hagridden's remains before we join these tortured souls.
This must be the place. I'll go back and get...
We're here.
The princess insisted.
We followed at a safe distance and only advanced after you cleared the way. From this point on, we stay together. And that's an order.
Yes. What she said. Now, let's enter the Undergrove. We need to find where they're experimenting with the Harrow Storms.
You honor me with your presence, my king.
Grey Host, stay quiet and listen.
This Harrow Storm must be the biggest we have ever wrought, my sister-in-arms.
That's the leader of the Grey Host.
Have we heard from Solitude? Is everything in place?
I have been assured
Lada al-Saran and Axark Ulfra. Should we postpone the test?
Certainly not. The holds are counting on us. Besides, we might be able to end this threat right here and now.
The murderers who killed our beloved Singalis!
And you're about to join him.
Impudent mortal! You will pay for your crime. Now for the rest of these curs!
My king, allow me the honor of spilling their blood.
Very well, sweet sister. Join me in praying. The task is on.
Let this Harrow Storm flay the flesh from your bones.
Svanna, no!
See to Lyris, Svanna, and pray your elixir works.
Protect Svanna. She needs time for the elixir to do its job.
You killed my brother. For that, you die!
I think it worked. I stood in a Harrow Storm and nothing happened. Fenn's elixir is a success. And we took out another one of the Grey Host leaders. We've done good, my friend. Never better. We need to create as much of the elixir as possible and distribute it throughout Solitude before Rada al-Saran's massive Harrow Storm hits. I also want to find out who in the city is helping him. Let's meet back at the Blue Palace. Once my father understands that we have a way to protect against the Harrow Storms, he'll have to take us seriously. I know, right? It happened so quickly. When we confronted Rada al-Saran and Exarch Ulfra, the Vampire Lord blasted Lyris with his magic. It certainly gave us a fighting chance. When she called forth the Harrow Storm, I grabbed the elixir from Lyris and barely thought about what I was doing. I don't disagree, but somebody had to do it. I'm still alive. I can't help but pity Hagridden. Despite what he's put me through, I felt his torment. That was my feeling, but I didn't know if it was Hagridden. I'll take them to a temple first.
The guild has need of you, comrade.
To your daughter, Svargrim. We need to do something.
Don't test me, Redharn. I know exactly what I need to do. Our enemies circle ever closer, and now even my daughter turns against me. What's next? Will my beloved wife return to accuse me of some heinous crime? Well, get to it. Tell me about Svana's miraculous elixir before I have the lot of you tossed out. You represent my most hated enemy and expect me to believe a word you say? Even if you speak true, worms have found purchase in the wood and seek to rot my kingdom from within. I will not let Solitude and the Western Holds fall. Trust Svana. Perhaps. No. No! Your honeyed words are but echoes of my most obstinate foes. You offer a miracle with one hand, while holding a poison dagger in the other. Hell, I need no help from the likes of you.
Don't be a fool, Father. This elixir will save our people.
I didn't think you had it in you, daughter. You have actually surpassed my expectations, more's the pity. And I'll hear no more talk of this miracle elixir.
Father, no!
The Grey Host is my true ally. Once the Harrow Storm engulfs Solitude, my kingdom will endure for all eternity.
I should have sensed it. Svargrim's a vampire.
Svanna.
Not now, Lyris. I need to think about this.
Svargrim's a bastard, but King Yoren believed he had the best interest of his people at heart. Obviously, something changed. And with Solitude targeted for a massive Harrow Storm, things have gotten more complicated. Not everything is as grim as it appears. We did create an elixir. That's our best chance of protecting the people from the Harrow Storm. We just need to distribute it. In the meantime...
Father, how could you? My father, working with the Grey Host. How long has he been a part of this? Did he have a hand in Mother's death? And what has he told them? You're right. I know you're right. It's just... he's my father. I'm not sure we can. But we can make more of Fenn's elixir. Get it into the hands of the people. We need more.
They've taken it! By the gods, it's fallen!
Fallen? What are you talking about?
The Grey Host. They came out of nowhere, captured the temple and the Tower of the Wolf. We're locked out!
Then the sacred oil.
Damn it all! I need to get down there!
Follow him! Now, soldier, tell me exactly what happened.
Done. The Grey Host has found a foothold. Now the city is lost.
Not yet, it isn't. On your feet, Sword Thane. We have work to do.
Yes, Princess Svanna. I apologize for that display. Tell the princess... tell her it won't happen again. Nothing good, I'm sure. The Grey Host... not that I can think of. What does it matter? Svargrim brought the Grey Host...
That's unacceptable, Sword Thane. If we can't get the sacred oil to make more elixir, then we have to stop the Harrow Storm.
Princess, we've kept watch. There aren't any witch pikes around the city.
Then you missed something. They needed the witch pikes for every other Harrow Storm they summoned.
Of course. Blackreach. The Grey Host must have gained access to the temple from beneath the city.
They could easily hide the witch pikes underneath our feet.
We know the Grey Host has been using Blackreach to clandestinely move around Western Skyrim. Why not launch their attacks from there?
Then we're going back to Blackreach. If the witch pikes are there, we'll destroy them.
As a junior member of House Ravenwatch, I never expected to be in the thick of things like this. I have to say, it's a tad overwhelming. Am I looking forward to going back to where Singalis experimented on me? The Grey Host can't summon the Harrow Storm without performing their ritual. And we know that requires witch pikes. I had hoped to secure the sacred oil, and make it... You're absolutely right.
My father. A vampire. He sat on his throne, pretended to mourn for my mother, and... I know. It's just... Look, we were never close. Not really. But he's my father. An honest answer. And so much like my own. But does my indecision put the people I'm sworn? I'm going to do whatever I can to stop the Harrow.
Yoren sent me with a warning for Solitude. Now I'm about to march into the starless depths of Blackreach to try to avert a massacre. How do I keep getting myself into these kinds of situations? I thought you knew me better than that. Taking on the impossible challenge, beating the unbeatable foe. This is what I'm good at. Svargrim. To cast his lot with the Grey Host, become a vampire, threaten his... One step at a time.
Oh, hello. You've heard of... I intended to. Thank you. You should... Right. Then we're still... I really...
That's ominous. And, unless I miss my guess, it's directly under Solitude. That's our target. The ritual site must be somewhere inside that horrid structure. I scouted the area before you arrived. Not so fast. If we rush down as a group, they'll be on us like a snow bear on a horker. You go ahead. Try to cross the bridge to the main entrance. There's a sluice gate in the outer courtyard tucked away against the keep's eastern wall. The few patrols in that area can be avoided if you're stealthy. Opening the gate requires a key, but you know your strengths and weaknesses better than I do. Cross the bridge or use the sluice gate to get into the inner courtyard. Then that's a good question.
These rituals smell more like wet dog than the werewolves.
Nice of you to join us.
I don't understand. What am I supposed to do with these flasks?
If we run into trouble, throw one of them at the source. Then get out of the way.
Fen and Svanna weren't as helpless as I imagined. Still, it took all my skill not to draw the entire Grey Host down upon us. Let's get inside and look for that ritual site. We need to destroy the witch by... We're about to enter the very heart of the Grey Host, and that's what you're thinking of? Split up and find the ritual site. We need to disrupt it.
Split up? I suppose that makes sense. I'll go with our friend here.
When the west falls, the east will soon follow.
This looks important. This book? I recognize the handwriting. It's Singalis's. It's more of his research. Harrowstorms, witch pikes, netherroot brew. How it all worked together for the benefit of the Grey Host. This might be something. I just need to skim through these assumptions and incantations. The magic I sensed earlier. It was familiar because it's the same magic used in the Harrowstorm rituals. Don't you see? This entire keep is the ritual site. They turn... Find a way to disrupt the ritual. But I think I understand what they're doing. The Harrowstorms steal life energy, and use it to pull the souls of the Grey Host out of... Oh, most certainly. Perhaps even a way to reverse the effects of the Harrowstorms and restore the Harrowed. If the notes... Svanna, I think this entire tower functions as a witch pike.
What? Fen, how is that even possible?
The energy!
That's my father! This way!
Pain is part of the process, Svargrim.
It's exquisite! My master.
Once you are attuned to Greymoor, the storm will be yours to command. Rise, Svargrim, and unleash my storm upon Solitude. Then the last of the Grey Host shall be reborn.
He turned Svargrim into the heart of his Harrowstorm.
They're moving higher up the tower. We need to follow them.
You and Fen take these stairs. Svanna and I will go this way.
Look, a Grey reliquary. It's massive. Just like the storm they planned to unleash on the city. Should take us to Svargrim and Rada al-Saran. They should take us to Svargrim and Rada al-Saran.
Leaders, we found them.
Good. This whole place, the Grey Host is preparing to go to war.
So the thorns arrive once more to prick my thumbs.
A barrier.
And Rada al-Saran?
Your persistence begins to annoy me, mortal. You killed my beloved brother and sister, Singalis and Ulfra. I freed them and you sent them back. Back to the hated Moloch Ball. I will see you suffer for that transgression. As much as it would please me to flay the flesh from your bones, I have more pressing matters to attend to. But know this, as I felt each death, you shall feel it when the Harrow Storm takes every... Bold words, but futile. Svargrim rises and the Harrow Storm with him. Once the attunement is finished, they will be unstoppable.
What happened? What did that damn vampire do?
He's merging the power flowing through the keep with Svargrim, giving him control of the Harrow Storm.
Then you must undo it. I'll stay and help. Leaders, you and our friend keep going up and find my father.
Keep moving! Don't let them surround us! Keep moving! Don't let them surround us! Dead end!
We weren't able to stop the attunement spell. It's just getting stronger.
That tower. It must lead to the upper levels. I need time to get that door open.
Everyone, protect Fen! Good job. Through the door and to the upper levels now. Hurry!
Just... No! The shaking is getting worse.
Damn magic! Give me something to hit!
The magic. It's Al-Saran. The attunement is almost complete.
The attunement is complete, Svan. You and Greymoor people are one.
We need to hurry. Al-Saran is leaving.
Be
I
patient.
leave the harrowing
The
of
Ashen
solitude
Lord
to
has
you.
been preparing this plan for
Remember
thousands
your
of years.
oaths to me.
Rada Al-Saran is leaving. Why? So high up, but still far beneath the ground.
Abandon me in our moment of triumph? What game do you play, Rada Al-Saran?
Game? I gave you power. If you can't conquer Skyrim, the fault is your own. Now ascend to your Tower of the Wolf and unleash my most potent Herald Storm. The Grey Host is counting on you, little king.
Hold, friends! We followed the booming voices. Where's Svargrim?
Oh my!
What is it now, Fen?
Oh, nothing. Just don't look down. ton... Harrow fiends. Is that what became of the herald Svargrim brought to Castle Dower?
Up ahead! That's the temple's undercroft!
Begun.
Look, above the Tower of the Wolf. The storm's only partially formed.
My father's up there. Open the gates and let's go.
The Harrow fiends below the temple. If they escape into the streets...
You and I will keep that from happening. Take the princess and deal with Svargrim, partner.
Yes. It's the only option. Let's go.
Behind us!
The Harrow fiends! They've broken loose!
Get to the tower and stop Svargrim. We'll hold the gates.
I'm with you, my friend. Up the stairs. We need to get up the ramp and onto the walls. That's our way to the Tower of the Wolf.
They get paid with a hammer.
To bear witness to my ascension, Rada al-Saran has given me power beyond anything you can imagine. Behold!
to our people! That was for Mother. For Solitude. And for every soul in Skyrim. Your ambition, your greed, look what it led to! We need to hurry.
golden mead. Let it spill like blood across your blade. The hunger battle only in war are warriors made.
My father betrayed everything to aid the Grey Host. With his death, Solitude is saved. It's done. We killed my father and ended the Herostorm. The city still stands. Skyrim still stands. No, of course not. My father was the High King of Western Skyrim. I always thought he had the best interests of our holds and our people in his heart. For Svargrim, yes, I think it was. As for Rada al-Saran and the Grey Host, I am not entirely sure what they're after. Enough of this. I need to get to work. With my father gone, someone has to pick up the pieces and restore the holds. First, on behalf of Western Skyrim, take this with my thanks. We would have been lost without you. Then, rest. Check on our friends. Injuries must be tended to, buildings repaired. Other wounds will take longer. We'll have more to do soon enough. Whatever Rada al-Saran and the Grey Host were planning, I think the worst is behind us as far as Western Skyrim is concerned. With Svargrim dead, their grip on the holds comes to an end. Not officially. At least I don't think so. I feel like the whole world's crumbling around me. Hopefully they were able to hold the courtyard and keep those monsters out of the city. You go on ahead and check on them. I need to collect myself. Thank you. Help them and anyone else as best you can. Oh, gods, I hope so.
Tell me truthfully, Lyris. How much of this blood is mine?
Not enough to be worried about. So, is it over? What happened to Svargrim? And where's Svanna? A parent's betrayal cuts deeper than a sword. But Svanna's strong. Stronger than she's been given credit for. If you told me the tavern rat we met at the Lonely Troll would become my choice to lead this land, I'd have called you mad. Then again, my king's a skald, so what do I know? Come on, there's probably something productive we should be doing. Last I heard, Sword Thane Uthlet was gathering everyone he could at the Hall of the Dead. Head over there and see how they weathered the Harrow Storm. I'll take care of securing Castle Dour. We did our best to hold the Harrow Fiends inside Castle Dour, but nothing short of stone walls were going... Almost didn't. We were nearly over.
You did it. I shouldn't be surprised. We held the gate as long as we could. The Harrow Fiends were a flood of claws and teeth. Once... I'm not really sure. It kind of went wild. Let out my inner beast, as it were. I was rending and slashing. Then Lyris whacked me with the flat of her blade. At least that's the last thing I remember. The Sword Thane gathered people in the Hall of the Dead. Go check on them. Sadly, I don't think there's any hope for them. Their life energy was sucked dry, turning them into feral beasts. Restoring them is beyond my capabilities, I'm afraid. As soon as we produce enough of it, yes. We saw how it protected.
There's an urgent task for you.
Good to see you aren't raising bugs with Ismir just yet.
We saw the storm break, but we heard nothing since you departed from Blackreach.
Whatever shall I do?
We seem to have survived, thank the gods. I thought for certain we were all about to witness the end of the world. No thanks to Svargrim, damn his eyes. After you and the princess went off to Blackreach, I gathered whoever we could, and made our stand here in the Hall of the Dead. Far fewer than I feared when the storm began. Thanks to you and the princess, with the storm over and the Grey host driven from Castle Dower, my soldiers will get the city back into shape. When I first, practically my whole life. I served in his army when he drove the Reach Dogs back from our gates. I don't know when the rot in him started. It crept so...
I regret we didn't throw a parade to welcome you back, but I'll cheer enough for 100 souls if you tell me you put that backbiter of a High King to the sword. That's good, but a daughter shouldn't have to kill her own father. Svanna has my support, for whatever that's worth. Not until we hold a moot to support her claim, and we need more than a single Jarl for that to occur. If Svanna proves herself as the acting Jarl, they might look past her father's failings and make her the queen. Eventually.
They're here! They're at the gates!
The Grey host? I thought we were done with them for now.
Not the Grey host! The Skald King with an army from the east!
What treachery is this?
To the gates. We'll give the Skald King a proper welcome, one way or another.
Sailing
Have a
giants.
passion
Up there,
for
young lad.
alchemy?
Never
Be a
imagined.
part of my exciting research.
Pleased to see you in solitude,
Stand down, you idiots! We come in peace.
Partner, could really use your knack for diplomacy right now. Speak to the Skald King before we start a war.
Sure save me from fools and prophets. Will no one properly greet a weary traveler?
I know that there's little love between East and West, but now's not the time to be picking a fight. Lyris's report on the rise of Grey Ghost had my father preparing for the worst. When we hadn't received word for some time, he decided to intercede. Svargrim. It's hard to believe the rumors were true. I didn't know him well, But I can't understand how anyone could throw away everything for the promise of power. You'd have to ask him. As far as I can tell, the Western holds are in chaos. They could use a king who cares for his fellow Nords.
Oh, familiar face. Maybe you can talk some sense into these Western milk drinkers. We're not a damn invasion. We're here to help. Do you know what's going on? So the rumors are true? Svargrim joined the Grey Host? I knew he had ambitions, but to throw away his humanity like that, it's inconceivable. Svargrim once told me that he would die before welcoming me to Solitude. I suppose he was right. That's why I sent Lyris here in the first place. I'm not the king of these holds, though. I can't do anything if they refuse my help. Svargrim despised me. He would never accept my aid. But Svanna... here she comes now. Let's see what she has to say.
We have no need of help that involves welcoming your soldiers within our walls.
My walls, Jarl. My father may have been willing to slap aside a helping hand, but I'm not. Permit me a word with your envoy, Skald King. Thank you. For holding the line, I mean. I'm ready to do what I should have done a long time ago. To do what my father never could. I'll speak with the Skald King. There's one more thing I'd like you to do while I entertain our guests. We saved Solitude, but our war with the Grey Host is far from over. We need Fenn's elixir more than ever. With that, and King Yoren's help, we might just push these monsters back into their grave for good. Check on Fenn's progress, please. That depends on Fenn. If there's anything standing in his way, let me know, and I'll do everything in my power to get him what he needs. Fenn is with old Mjolnir at the Mages Guild. When you're finished with him, join me in the courtyard of the Blue Palace. I'm going to hold a moment of remembrance for this city. We all need a moment to mourn what we lost. I'm going to invite the Skald King to join us. If the people of Solitude see him bow his head along with the rest of us, they may not care about the divide between the East and the West.
Did the princess say something about an elixir? Windhelm will provide whatever resources are necessary to produce as much of an elixir as possible.
Clasping arms with Easterners. There's been enough death for one day.
What is it?
Ingenious. A rare thing to find an elf with the makings of a clever woman.
Despite what my kin might proclaim, it's not all in the blood. Ah, good, you're here. We've made a breakthrough. I was just discussing a theory with Mjolnir, and it seems like we're very close to turning this elixir into a true restorative. A cure. Singolis's research on the Netherroot showed me just how it weakens the connection between a body and soul. Thus far, I've been able to inure a person to the root, but now I'm certain I can use that knowledge to heal those weakened bonds. Well, it is just a theory at this point. There's a lot more testing and experimentation to be done before we can produce a viable antidote. Weeks, optimistically? I know. We can't simply put things on hold. Mjolnir and I have a batch brewing right now, and materials to keep producing for another day. Ingert's promised us a steady supply of Arcase oil, but that's not our limiting factor. We know enough about Singolis's refinement processes to replicate his methods, but we still need a source of netherroot to do so. Tell Svanna that if she can keep us supplied, we can produce enough elixir for all the holds in a matter of weeks. We can ransack Greyhost's stockpiles, or mount an expedition into Blackreach. Otherwise, it would take decades of work to produce a proper crop. After we get the elixir squared away, we'll turn our attention to curing the Herald. Indeed. As I surmised, the Grey Reliquaries contained the remains of ancient Greyhost warriors. They served as a connection to the souls trapped in Cold Harbor. Using the energy from the Harrowstorms, the souls were pulled into the stone husks. I believe the stone husks are incubators of a sort. The physical forms of the Grey Host are reincorporated within the stone vessels, through a mix of Singolis's alchemy and sorcery, and the magic of the Ice Reach witches. When whole, they burst free.
I have seen many things in my time, but never could I have predicted I would soon train adepts of the Mages Guild in the arts of my ancestors. This is an institution of elves. They know nothing of the soul of the world. Here, magic is a thing to be measured and weighed. Necessity and a hope they can learn. If we're to brew enough elixir for everyone in the kingdom, you will give Kashin some moonshine yet.
Well?
I was hoping you'd return before we began. Tell me you've got good news. I'll feel a lot better delivering a speech about healing and hope, knowing that we're on the road to recovery. What did Fen have to say about the elixir? Not the best news, but I'll take it. So long as we have enough to protect our soldiers, we have a fighting chance against the Grey Host. I'll go to the Undergrove myself, if that's what it takes. Now that would be cause for celebration. If he can really bring back even a fraction of those we lost to the Harrowstorms, I'm willing to try. That's all I needed to hear. We should begin the ceremony before the crowd grows more restless. Nothing fancy, just a traditional Nord wake. To mourn and celebrate those we've lost, and cherish the lives we still have. I'd like you to join us. None of us would be here to sing dirges for the dead or celebrate the living if not for you. I certainly wouldn't be here, ready to lead my hold. You've supported me since I started down this path. I'm honored to have you here at the end. Sons and daughters of Skyrim, we have the honor today of remembering the dead.
Honor to the fallen!
Sons and daughters of Skyrim, our trials were fierce, but we are still here.
We stand and we remain!
Now, we raise our voices to tell Sovngarde of the coming of the worthy dead, and to tell the world that the Nords are still here! We are still standing!
The fallen now march home to hallowed halls, to join our ancestors in boundless drink and song and brawls. Let's sound the horns, let peal the bells, let loose the ancient hymn. We will remain until time ends, we children of Skyrim.
I'm glad to be done with this. Diplomacy and investigation aren't my favorite pastimes. I'll be staying so long as Yoren's here, or until I can persuade him to send me after Rada al-Saran. Whatever his plans were after sacking Solitude, we haven't uncovered them. With any luck, the Skald King will send me on a raid of the Grey Host, and I can beat some answers out of a few of them. Count on it.
My heart goes out to these people. We are no strangers, so I've heard. The princess has come a long way from the girl I met so long ago. If the princess remains in charge of the Western Holds, I think the chances of true reconciliation are good. My father will certainly do everything he can to make that happen.
In their own way, the people of Western Skyrim are as strong as the Nords of the East. Even after so much suffering, they still stand against the howling wind. We shall do everything within our power to help them recover. Blood alone does not make one worthy to rule a hold, let alone an entire kingdom. The princess will lead for now, but many questions must be answered before the Jarls crown a new ruler of Solitude. That's what a moot is for. If Princess Svanna agrees, I want to bring more of my people from Eastmarch to help restore Solitude and the Western Holds. My retinue is too small to deal with everything. We need more hands. All I can do is to offer my aid in good faith. Whether they decide to grab my hand or to slap it away, that's up to them. Today, no, the time isn't right. As for the future, who can say?
I can't think of a more fitting send-off for my father than Nords of both kingdoms mourning side by side. Skyrim may be divided, but at least our honored dead are united in Sovngarde. Yoren, Redharn, and I need to form a plan to distribute Fenn's elixir and push back against the Greyhost. I can't leave everything to you, you know. Well, I probably could. But even Greymoor took a rest now and again. I don't know. It's not Sovngarde is a place for the honored dead. Svargrim gave up his seat in the Hall of Valor when he made his pact with the Ashen Lord.
I hadn't had a moment to honor the fallen of Morthal since you came. When things are settled here.
Princess Jarl Svanna reminds me more of the Queen I'll pledge myself to her, if she'll have me. He did, but...
I've got a lot to do here.
We all lost someone today. A comrade. A father.
Who do you take me for? It'd besmirch my reputation to abandon a kingdom in such desperate need of cheer. Mog does not leave a place less joyful than he finds it.
What is it?
Ice heels walking the streets of Solitude? What's our hold coming to?